In the song for Everyman, on the solo acoustic version, Jackson Browne downtunes his whole guitar by a half step, which he does on many of these songs to suit his voice, and then tunes the guitar to what we call double drop D tuning, where he takes the sixth string and the first string and tunes them both down a further step. Now normally that would bring the notes down to D. The sixth and the first strings would come down to D, but because we've already down-tuned by a half step, they come down to the note C sharp. The result of that tuning should be this. Your first string becomes C sharp, tuned down to C sharp. Tune your second string down to A sharp. The third string tuned down to F sharp. The fourth string to C sharp. The fifth string to G sharp, and the sixth string to C sharp. Okay, so that is double drop D tuning, but with the whole guitar tuned down by a further half a step. Now, we're going to write the chords and talk about the chords as if they were in the key of D, forgetting that we've down-tuned by a half step. And we want to do that because that is the sense that you have when you're playing the song. You're using chord shapes that are in the key of D. You feel like you're playing in D. And a D chord in double drop D tuning is a normal D chord, but with the first string finger, the middle finger, lifted off because that first string is now, well, we're going to say we'll call it D. In standard tuning it would be D. So we have a huge modal D chord if we play a normal D shape with the first finger lifted off. And that is the home chord shape that he's going to use in For Everyman. So that's the first two bars of your tab. We're going to take our double drop D tuning D chord. From now on I'm just going to call that a D chord, but whenever I say it's the chord D, don't play anything on the first string. Okay? We're going to play strings 6, 5 and 4. In the rhythm 1 and 2. Letting that fourth string ring, then keeping the chord shape down, have the little finger come to the fifth string, fourth fret, play that note. Then the open fifth string, open sixth string, and now take this first finger that's on the third string and move it to the second string, the fifth string, second fret, where it becomes a chord that we are going to call B minor for the purposes of this song, because this chord shape, fifth string, second fret, second string, third fret, appears a lot. And it acts as a B minor chord, although technically it's not quite a B minor chord, but we'll say that it is. So we play that fifth string, fretted at the second fret. So we have this for bar 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice that that B minor chord arrives just before bar 2. It's pushed, as we say in music, meaning it comes in just a little bit earlier than it should do. Then it rings across the bar line into the first beat of the next bar, and we follow it with a down-up strum. And we'll finish the phrase with the fifth string, second fret again, where we already are, fifth string, fourth fret with your little finger, and then the open fourth string as our hand is moving back to this D chord shape. Again, it arrives just a half a beat early. Let's play the whole phrase in rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that last phrase, those three picked notes, come up all the time in this song, including when you're singing. So get very used to the feel of that D chord, the fourth string, arriving a little bit earlier than you feel that it should. Okay, you'll play that phrase, that riff, twice. It's the first 4 bars of your tab for the intro, and then we'll come into the first verse. Now we've already hit the fourth string, the note D, at the end of the intro, just half a beat early, if you like, on the and of 4. So we start, we let that ring across the first beat, and then we begin to strum. So 1 and 2 and. Now the tab for strums always looks very precise. It says here that you must hit the third and second strings, followed by the fourth, third and second strings. Don't try and be that precise. Strum anything out of that chord. But you've hit the fourth string on the and of 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Up, down, up on beats and 2 and. Then we come down to a chord shape that isn't shown as a chord name on your tab or on the song sheet, but it's the same D chord shape plus the fifth string, fourth fret. D over C sharp, technically. And we're going to pick that note on the fifth string and then strum up, down, up again. So coming from the final bar of the intro, we have this. Everybody, so slightly early fourth string, up, down, up, fifth string, up, down, up. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now come to our two-finger B minor chord that we played in the intro. Pick the fifth string, followed by up, down, up. Then pick the fifth string again. You can sort of hint a little upstroke in there. And then we're going to finish the phrase, as happens all the time in this song, on 4 and. We'll play the fifth string, fourth fret, on 4, and the open fourth string on and as we're moving back to the D chord shape. It's bars 5 and 6 of your tab, and it's going, well, from the and of 4 of the intro, because we have to do it that way. Everybody I talk to is ready to leave. Now we repeat those exact two bars in bars 7 and 8. In the light of the morning, then we'll find that bars 9 and 10 repeat them again. They've seen the end coming down long enough to believe. And, as if we weren't lucky enough, so do bars 11 and 12. That they've heard their last warning. Except at the very end of bar 12, we're going to play the same three notes but in a slightly different rhythm. On 3 and 4, we'll play the fifth string at the second fret, fifth string at the fourth fret, open fourth string as all our fingers come away, getting ready to play the chord that will appear at bar 13. So that's the rhythm of that. Where was I? There. The rhythm of that is 3 and 4. And with the other two bars, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you're moving to this new shape. It's a bar chord shape, barring the second fret at the second, barring all 6 strings at the second fret, and then putting your fingers on the 6th and 5th strings at the 4th fret. That's because we've lowered the 6th string by a full step. So for the chord of F sharp minor, our fingers would normally be on the 5th and 4th frets. If you've played bar chords before, you'll know that. But because we've lowered that 6th string by a full step, we have to cover it at 2 frets higher than the bar. So we play the 6th and 5th strings. And when we strum, we'll try and avoid the first string, which, because we've tuned that down as well, it will sound a little bit out of tune. So try and strum the lower end of the chord. So we're going to strum down, down, up, down, down, up. You can, on some of the downstrokes, just get the bass end of the chord, and also you can change the rhythm. At various times, Jackson Browne, and I think probably me in the playthrough, would play different rhythms than that. Maybe our good old standby, down, down, up, down, up. That would also work for this bar, or any other rhythm that you like that has 4 beats. So, the 3 notes that led into it, if you remember, they were 5th string at the 2nd and 4th frets, and then the open 4th string as we move to the new chord shape. Those 3 notes coincide with the syllables standing up, standing up, and then on the syllable lone, we'll move to the F sharp minor chord and start strumming. Making sense? So from bar, let's do it from bar 11. They've heard their last warning. Standing alone. Can you see that? Standing alone. Each has his. On the word own, we're going to go to a B7 chord, a normal shape B7 chord, but you don't need the first string. So these three fingers will be enough from a normal B7 chord. The tab shows to pick it using strings 5, 4, 3, 4. What I do is, I do that, but it won't matter if you strum it. Down, down, up. The second half of that bar sees Jackson Browne hook his thumb over on the 6th string at the 1st fret, play that note, and then strum something like a down, up. Don't hit the first string on that strum. So that bar, bar 14, is going, picking the first half, 1 and 2 and hook the thumb over on the 6th string, 1st fret, pick that note, 3, and then strum it on 4 and. Each has his own ticket. Now we want an E minor 7 chord, which is the 6th string and the 5th string at the 2nd fret. And we'll start that bar, bar 15, by playing the bass end of the chord and strumming down, up. 1, 2, and. And then we get a great little run, where we'll pick on the 6th string 2, slide it to 4. It isn't shown as a slide on your tab because it doesn't have to be, but it's easiest to slide it. Sliding 2 to 4 on the 6th string, pick the 6th string 5th fret, and then the open 5th string as you're moving to the next chord, which will be A7 sus4. I'll show you that chord in a moment. So let's come back from the F sharp minor, or half of the previous bar. Standing alone, each has his own ticket in his hands. Again, that open 5th string is pushed. It's the first chord, the first note of the chord of A7 that's coming up, but it comes just half a beat early. Bar 15, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. It'll ring across the first beat of bar 16 and be followed by up, down, up on this chord, a 4th string 2nd fret and 2nd string 3rd fret. A7 would normally be 2nd string 2nd fret, but A7 sus4 is 2nd string 3rd fret. I use the little finger. Feel free to use the ring finger if you're happier stretching that out. Any fingering that works for you. So on that chord, we'll go up, down, up on and 2 and, then come back to a normal A7 chord, 2nd string 2nd fret, and play down, down, up, or some strum pattern like that. From the E minor 7, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Now we've gone to the A7 chord. We're going to come to a G chord next, which is very simple. 6th and 5th strings at the 5th fret, and I use these two fingers. Again, any two fingers that work for you are fine. And this is an easy strum. You know, you can strum any rhythm you like here. The tab says down, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, 4 and, with the first beat actually being just the bass end of the chord. But play any rhythm you like. You could strum bass, down, up. You could strum bass, down, up, down, down, up. Any rhythm you like. And it's on the line, as the evening did. Now for sends or descends, we go to A7 sus4 again. Pick the 5th string, strum down. Pick the 5th string again, come to A7 and strum down, up. I sit thinking about it. Once again, Jackson Browne won't tend to strum a line like that the same way twice, so any pattern that works for you that involves those chords. On Everyman, we're going to go to the chord G over B, which is the easiest chord you could imagine, 5th string 2nd fret only. But you don't want to play the 6th string on that chord, so make sure that whether you do what the tab says, picking the 5th string followed by down, up, make sure that or whether you strum it, down, down, up, make sure you don't get the sixth string. I kill it by having the thumb of the left hand just come across the neck and touch the sixth string where it's now dead. The tab says pick the fifth string, play down up, fifth string again, and then an up strum followed by our now familiar little lick, fifth string, fourth fret, to the early appearance of the D note as the fingers are going back to make a D chord shape. So I sit thinking about every man. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Alright, now on my song sheet, at that point I've written again, intro times 1. I'm telling myself that the intro now reappears, just exactly as we played it at the beginning. So you play through the intro one more time, between verse 1 and what we're going to do next, which is the start of verse 2. Verse 2 is the verse, seems like I've always been looking for some other place, and we play that the same way we played verse 1. That takes us to the chorus for the first time, waiting here for Everyman. In the chorus, we're going to start on an A7 sus4 chord. Now, many times in the chorus, we have a bar of A7 sus4 that will come back eventually to an A7 chord. You can see that on bars 21 and 22 of your tab. Oh, and one important thing I forgot. When you finish verse 2 and you're getting ready to come into the chorus, you're going to play the D chord, but with the little finger down on the first string, fourth fret. If you want to play exactly like he does. It won't matter if you don't put that little finger down, but he does. So coming out of the second verse, starting on the G chord of the last line, have all eventually come down to waiting for every man. So there's our D reappearing, and I'll hit that D note, 2 strums, up, down. Now the little finger can go down, and we'll go up, down, down. Waiting for every man, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. There's your rhythm. Now we're coming into the chorus, our A7 sus4 chord. Wherever A7 sus4 goes to A7 in this chorus, you can do one of two things. Either strum it in any rhythm you like, but where the A7 chord comes, well, let's have a look. You can move to the A7 chord wherever it feels natural to you. This is going, waiting here for every man. There I was changing to A7 at the beginning of, right at the first beat of that second bar of that pair. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. That's just a strum pattern that occurs to me off the top of my head. Any strum pattern will work. The tab actually shows this. Pick the fifth string, down, up, down, up. Oh, that should be on an A7 sus4. Pick, down, up, down, up. Then the second bar, bar 22 of your tab, says pick that chord, strings 5, 4, 3, 2, before coming back to A7, up, down. That's one way to do it. It's one way that he does it on, I think, one occasion on this song. So you can either strum the whole thing, or you can start to pick halfway through, or at other times in the song, you can start on the A7 sus4 by picking. That can sound very effective. Picking 5, 4, 3, 2, up, down with strums. Rhythm 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Come back to an A7 chord and play the same thing. Pick, 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 up, down. Waiting here for every man. Alright, now we're going to go D to our 2-finger B minor chord. You can either strum, again, make it on your own, including the D over C sharp chord, do you remember that? Just like we played it in the verse. D, strum, and 5th string, 4th fret, strum and B minor, pick, strum and pick, strum and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. That would be the easiest way to play bars 23 and 24. The lines make it on your own if you think you can. You could also pick them. Any notes you want to pick out of the chord, as long as you start with the root note, the 4th string. Make it on your own if you think you can. You know, or any combination of picking and strumming. Now we want A7 sus4 again. A7 sus4, you can do exactly what we said on bars 21 and 22. You could pick it. If you see somewhere to go. This time it doesn't resolve to A7, by the way. Or you could strum it. If you see somewhere to go. There I'm strumming down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Or you could play one bar picked, followed by one bar strummed. If you see somewhere to go. And as I keep saying on this song, you know, Jackson Browne will do it in various combinations of those options at different times in the song. For I understand, we definitely want to try and go back to picking because it does something very subtle and soft in the song. Over the line, I understand. I understand. Especially if you've had some strumming in the previous two bars. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. Yeah, because I finished the A7 sus4 bar 26, with a couple of loudish strums, the change in feel to the soft picking, I understand, seems to mirror the line I understand, and you'll hear Jackson Browne doing that too. Okay, so that takes us to bar 29, where we will repeat all the way through to bar 32. We'll repeat the same thing. We're here for Everyman. Don't ask me if he'll show. So on the 31 and 32, I'm picking a D chord, 4, 3, 2, 3, to the 5th string, 4th fret, 5, 3, 2, 3. B minor, I start by picking 5, 4, 3, 2, and then some kind of strum like up, down, up. 31 and 32 then would count in rhythm 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To A7 sus4 for the last line of the chorus. If we can, we really want to try and pick this. 5, 4, 3, 2 are your strings, followed by a couple of strums. 1 and 2 and 4. And you're singing I don't. The two strums come on I don't, and you continue to sing the word no as you go to the next bar, which will be a D chord. I don't know. In fact, it'll be your intro sequence. I don't know. Just as we played it in the introduction. So that reappearance of the intro is at bar 34, page 3 of your tab, and I've labelled it Interlude because it's about to go to something different. But first of all, before it does, you will play that intro sequence either 2 times or 4 times, as you want. And when you finish it, when you're ready to go to what we've called the bridge at bar 42, you'll play the sequence that leads to the F sharp minor chord again. Do you remember that one? That was the one where you played the 5th string 2nd fret, 5th string 4th fret, and open 4th string in the rhythm 3 and 4 before going to the F sharp minor. In the verse, it was over the words, or in the first verse, standing alone. You'll play it again exactly the same way as at the point that you're ready to go into the F sharp minor chord at bar 42. And here at bars 42, 43, 44, 45, we're going to play the same thing we played in the verse over the chords F sharp minor, B7, E minor 7, A7 sus4, but as an instrumental. And at bar 46 it goes to something new. A new tune. We want to play a B minor chord, but this time not our two-finger B minor chord, a barred B minor chord. A bar of the 2nd fret and the A minor shape in front of the bar. We're going to strum something like bass, down, up, bass, down, up. And be very careful when you strum. If you're playing the full bar, try not to get the 6th string or the 1st string. So you're really trying to concentrate on the middle of the chord. Make it on your own if you... Now go to a G chord. You remember that from before, up at the 5th fret? Play bass down, and then come to an A chord, which I play as a half bar. What you want is strings 4 and 3 at the 2nd fret, so feel free to play them as a two-finger A chord. I happen to play it as a half bar. You want the 5th string either once or twice, and then up, down. From bar 46, make it on your own if you think you can. That first pick of the 5th string actually is really just your fingers coming off the G chord and an up strum rather, as you're moving into the new shape. Let me show you that again. Make it on your own if you think you can. Moving. When I get to A, I'm going to pick the 5th string followed by 2 down strums. Now repeat the B minor section. Somewhere later on you'll have to... Now we need a new chord. It's an E7 chord, but we're going to play it like this. 3rd string, 1st fret, and because we detuned the 6th string, we need to play the 6th and the 5th strings at the 2nd fret. And strum it bass, something like bass, down, bass, bass, down. Try not to get the 1st string in that strum. Any strum pattern you like if you want something as an alternative to that. So those two bars 48 and 49. Somewhere later on you'll have to make a stand. And then I'm going to really soften the texture and I'm going to pick bar 50. Then you're gonna need, or maybe pick, strum with very soft strums. Shown on your tab at bar 50 as if it stays on A7 sus4 all the time, and you can do that, or you could make those last 2 strums A7. Then you're gonna need a... Okay, the picking of course is exactly the same as we played it before when we looked at it earlier on. 5, 4, 3, 2 are your strings. Now we get a little run. After he's sung the word hand, then you're gonna need a hand. It's fabulous, really love that. It's shown as no chord on your tab, bar 51. We don't play the first beat, the 2 strums continue to ring, so the strums have gone and 4, and the 1 beat doesn't do anything, but on the and of 1 we begin to pick 5th string open and we'll hammer it to the 2nd fret. Pick the 4th string open and hammer it to the 4th fret, slide it back down to the 2nd fret and then pull it off. And then hammer on the 5th string 2nd fret without picking it. You'll find that a good, not strong, but a good solid hammer-on will ring that note even though you haven't picked it. So the rhythm of the run is 1 and 2, and, let's do that again. The rhythm of the run is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... I hope you've noticed that you only picked it twice. Once on the 5th string to start the run, and then once on the 4th string to start the 4th string section of the run. Those last notes are all pulled, slid, hammered, whatever. Okay, After you've hammered that last note, you're straight into the repeat of the intro as it's shown right at the beginning of the tab. And you'll repeat the intro a couple of times. We're almost done in the song because that will take you to verse 3. Everybody's just waiting to hear from the one. Play verse 3 the same way you played the other two verses. It goes again into the chorus, waiting here for Everyman. Play that chorus the same way you played it before. You would think at that point that we would be done, and we almost are. But this song does something interesting. At the very end, it returns to something almost like the bridge that we played before. When we played Make It On Your Own If You Think You Can, we return to something that seems to be as if it's going to be that. Play it initially the same way we played the bridge. B minor to G and A. I'm not trying to tell you that I've seen the plan. Now B minor to E7. Turn and walk away if you think I am. Now after half of the E7 bar, this is not tabbed on your tab sheet, so have a look at this carefully. On the E7 chord, on the return of the bridge, we're going to go bass, down, up. Maybe bass, down, up, bass. Bass, down, up, bass. Rhythm 1, 2 and 3. And the lyrics, think I am. After that final bass hit, we're going to hit the 6th string, slide it to the 4th string, hit the 6th string where it is at the 2nd fret, slide it to the 4th fret, and pick now the 6th string at the 5th fret. That's our G chord, and you can add the little finger underneath it to create the G chord that we played before. Because we want that G chord for Don't Think Too of Don't Think Too Badly. Let me play that again and run it into the G chord. Once you reach the G chord, strum it the same way you've strummed these patterns before. You know, bass, down, up, down, up, some pattern like that. So, turn and walk away if you think I am, but don't think too. Notice that the G was pushed, it came in half a beat early. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And right at the very end of the song here we get a new chord, A sharp diminished 7. It comes in, again it's pushed, it comes in early. We're going to play the open 5th string, followed by the 1st fret 5th string, and we need the first finger to take that. And around it make an A7 shape. 4th string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 2nd fret, and begin to pick 4, 3, 2. Followed by some kind of strum. Let's have a look how that's going to work. Let's take it from the G. 1, well, with the lyrics first. But don't think too badly of one who's left. So the open 5th to 1st fret 5th comes on the syllables too bad. If you prefer the count, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to go B minor to D, but it's our 2-finger B minor, so shift the shape you have up 1 fret and let the middle finger come away. And pick that B minor chord 5, 4, 3, 2. Holding, oh, did I get that right? Holding sand. I follow it with an upstroke, 1 and 2 and 3 and, on the and of 3 upstroke, and on 4 and we're going to play the phrase we played many times before, 5th string 4th fret to open 4th string as we go back to a D chord, where I strum anything I like. Let's come from the B minor, 1 and 2 and 4 and. So after that pick of the 4th string, I'm going up, bass, down, up. Again, any strum pattern that fits 4 beats will work. Back to a G chord, strum it but gently. He's just another. Here I'm strumming bass, down, up, down, up. To A7 sus4, you could strum it or pick it. If you pick it, it's the same way we've picked it before, and if you strum it, it's the same way we've strummed it before. Dreamer, dreaming about. I stay on A7 sus4 for the whole of that bar, but feel free to come back to A7 at some point if you like that sound. He's just another dreamer, dreaming about. G over B, we're now coming to end the song the way we've played this before. G over B, Everyman, and we'll push the D chord again. He's just another dreamer, dreaming about Everyman. And back to our intro, which we'll play twice. And we'll finish the song by pushing that D chord again. Here it comes. And then hit the 6th string, or the 6th and 5th, or you could even strum the whole chord from the 6th. Like this. I tend to just hit the 6th, the low end of the chord, to finish it, but whatever suits you. So there you have it. A look at examples of a couple of options of how Jackson Browne would take a song like For Everyman, which is played with the whole band on the original album from the early 70s, and how he would turn that, or how he does turn that, into a solo acoustic number that, to my ears, sounds fabulous, even better, dare I say it, than the original version.